Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It is Markets in the Morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is a Monday, December 4th, 2023. This is Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, including the Bitcoin price chart, the altcoin market, XRP. We take a look over there at the stock market as it gets set to open in the next 2 minutes, along with precious metals like gold, and take a peek over there at the United States Dollar Currency Index, or the DXY. Of course, we'll check on any type of financial news that is going on to start our morning and start our week, and we take a peek over there at any type of crypto news as we get ready to start our day and start our week. Another boring day in crypto, as we can all tell. The bear market just continues dragging. Wait a minute. Hold on. $41,500 Bitcoin. Hey, what's going on? All right. Hey, guys, welcome to the new week. So, obviously, we've got some green action over here. We've got some volatile action, right? You got kind of a mix there with Bitcoin and altcoins. Bitcoin up, several altcoins up. You got several altcoins down. The altcoin market's kind of flat. With a big move over there in Bitcoin, lots of volatility this morning. We've got volatility over there in the stock market. Stock market's actually going to open down this morning. You're going to have NASDAQ down 1% at the opening, S&P down 0.75%, and the Dow Jones down 0.54%. Most stocks will be in the red. However, Coinbase, crypto, be way up, be up 7% today as we get ready to open up for the markets. Bitcoin sitting at 41,500. This morning, Markets in the Morning will be competing with a video. So I released a video about 20 minutes ago. So we're going to be competing against that. So viewership will probably kind of be mixed in the morning. So we'll try to kind of gauge how many viewers tune in. Typically during exciting time periods in the market, we see a lot of viewership. But let's go ahead and dive in and quit the rambling. $41,500 over here for Bitcoin to start the day. What do you really say about that? Crazy action happening over here. As you can see, this is now the 50% retracement over here for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has now finally retraced 50%. I announced on Twitter or X.com last night that I have started selling my 2022 and 2023 buys of Bitcoin. So it's been, this uptrend has been going on for a year. I do understand the masses now do believe this is just beginning. But we have been on this channel saying that we've been going at it for a year. As we get back to the first retracement levels in here, I have begun starting to unload the Bitcoin. And I put out a video today discussing that over there. I'm still super optimistic for the altcoins. I still have my altcoins, but Bitcoin's been my number 2 holding during all of this, and it's an exciting and nervous and interesting time to finally be letting go of some of this and selling it into cash. The really interesting thing about it, with all of it, and to bring it up now, let's do it. What are the things that are typically concerning about financial media and retail behavior? Retail typically gets really excited and believes that we're going to go to the moon at peaks, and typically financial media will draw them in to do that. As you guys know, we always pull up CNBC and we always pull up Bloomberg here on the YouTube channel in Markets in the Morning. Look at the front page of Bloomberg today, front and center. Look what's right there as the top headline, the top article, the top everything. Bitcoin, $42,000. Have we ever seen that one time here on the YouTube channel in Markets in the Morning? We have not seen that once where they put Bitcoin front and center. And it just so happens to be right at the 50% retracement, right when I'm started to sell some of it. So there you go. Yeah. So financial media has turned on. They've gone ahead and started informing retail that prices are high. That's typically what happens during distribution. So there you go. Bloomberg's drawing them in. This is, looking at it on a kind of a short-term time frame. I don't know, like I just got done recording a video, so trying to think of, how to say things differently other than that. We're at a retracement level currently for Bitcoin right now. Retail is extremely excited, as expected they would be once we got back to retracement levels. We still, you don't have anything indicating this isn't doing what 2020 did, when it started really rallying up to extremes and the thing just kind of went absolutely ballistic. But also we don't have anything different saying that we're not just kind of following along with 2016's recovery. And so in 2016, what happened was that Bitcoin went back to a 618 Fibonacci retracement level. So that would be an equivalent price of about $48,000. And then Bitcoin fell back down to back test the previous support range. So I've shown this many times on the BLX chart. Recoveries after super cycles, how that has always happened. And just, we back test these supports, we break to a new range, then we back test the supports. And that's just how the price behavior tends happening. And so as we continue working up and we get back into retracement levels, we're getting to them. It's really exciting, but at the same time, like when I come onto this channel, I'm always trying to exhibit that, calmness, that level-headed approach, and not be like a gambler, right? When people go to the casino, they get really excited when they're in the green and when they're winning. But I try to treat this as mathematical and meticulous as possible. And as we get back to the retracements, that's where it starts being like, all right, is this move starting to get overextended? The financial media is starting to draw them in now. That's a little bit concerning to see that, right? And so when I look at it like on even like super short moves in there, just even this move that we've had here in the last 24 hours of what's happened, of us going from like 39.5 up here to 42.1. I can count waves in here. I got 5 waves here. I've got an overextension. It looks like this thing has run out of juice, even just on like these 15-minute charts. So I think for today, we're probably done shifting to the upside for Bitcoin. And it makes total sense for that to happen right when it hits the 50% retracement level here. Not the news everybody wants to hear. Don't you understand? There's a Bitcoin ETF coming. But we didn't need a Bitcoin ETF news to have the conviction that we would be heading back up for the last year and a half. We just use charts. We just use indicators. We use strength. Markets tend to go into retracements and retail tends to get wrong-footed. BCB is taking all the fun out of everything. Yeah. Well, that's not the job, right? That's not the gig here, man. This isn't my, I don't want to come on here and be the FOMO man. That's not what I've ever done. Like when I'm FOMOing down here, you guys are like, we're going to 12K. That's when I'm the FOMO guy. When prices get really high, that's, of course, that's where I'm always. It's the opposite effect on me. And that's just going through years of all of this. The emotional effects are very different for me. Sure, I still feel the yuckiness of when we pull down like that. But still knowing, all right, these things are just discounted now is what it is. And so there's not a whole lot for me to do here. So just buy and hold on for dear life. And then when we get back into retracements, it's time to be like, all right, I have to hit that sell button right now. And this thing's going in a straight line up. It's kind of like buying if you try to catch a falling knife, you're just going to get cut up. You have that same feeling when you're going back to the upside, but you actually have like legitimate markers in here to say, hey, look, there's probably a lot of stuff stopping it here. And then you get Bloomberg coming on here and informing us. Literally, we've never seen this ever out of all the times that we have done markets in the morning for Bitcoin to get the front and center right here on Bloomberg. And there it is. So, looking at this, you can count waves on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got five sub waves within there. Then you have the overextension on a bearish divergence on the 15-minute time frame. The juice is probably done in it for today. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to your new week. But yeah, it's exciting, but, just kind of keeping that in mind of, where we've gotten to in regards to retracement levels. This is where everybody is euphoric. And I am personally taking some off the table. I've taken quite a bit off the table from Bitcoin here in the last 24 hours. So I'm excited. It's bittersweet. It always is bittersweet when you do that, when you're in something for a very long time and it becomes time to let go of some of it. But that's just, that's the name of the game, and that's just how it goes in here. And I'm just remaining very true to the things I've thought. for the last year and a half, coming on here saying, we're going into retracement levels. These have been my thoughts. Geez, look at what just happened right there. IOTA just popped up 40% out of nowhere. Interesting. But that's the things that I've said for the last year and a half, and I'm remaining true with them, right? Heading back into retracements, this whole thing, of going back into retracements all year, not just because we finally start getting there, it doesn't become this whole, well, now that we're here, we're going into all-time highs to get clicks and to build FOMO. No, we're here. It's great. There's a segment of people who stayed, and they toughed it out through the really tough time. And they're the ones who get to be here and reap the rewards of that. And then there's another group of people who are reading these headlines, and they're going to come pouring in today, probably tuning into markets in the morning. They're going to be like, hey, is it a good time to buy? And it's like, well, for all of us who went through the really tough time, this is a different kind of opportunity. So, that's where it's at. And here's the deal. So percentage wise, this is why I always say, things I put on here, and I even have like a whole video dedicated to it on BC Backer. It's called percentage measurements matter over price, right? That's everything. So, right, the thing you're always going to see everywhere, Bitcoin to 100K. But the reality is just percentages, right? So, the things that I look at in here when I make these decisions, and I'm like, all right, it's time for me, not only just because I respect Fibonacci levels, but I also understand percentages of where we've gotten to, right? This has risen 172%, both in 2013 and over there in 2016, 2012 and 2016, right? These things got to just right at about the 618 retracement, and then things teetered off for quite some time. So even if we did there, even if we got up to 702, just percentage-wise, the vast majority of the move has already happened, right? It's gotten it. Otherwise, you have to believe an all-time high at this point. And I can't do that. It's just not what I do. We get into a third range boundary, and that's going to be the area of concern for me. So we've already done 172%, leaving like max potential for me that I'd have to get rid of all of it no matter what. Just because that's how I am. All the 2022 and 2023 buys have to be let go of by 52,800. And what I don't know is if we'll even get that high. So, then I look at the percentages and say, well, could it get to this one? Could it get to that one? If we've got up to 172% and I just didn't let go of any of them because I've got to get to here, well, then I can find myself in a pretty crummy situation. So, this is, where a good chunk has come out. And then if we keep marching up, I just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. But, I've gotten rid of about half, a little bit over half of all this stuff that has happened in here. And what a time. What a time. And here's why it feels weird to me. I put out a tweet, right, last night talking about doing that. And on my channel, it always is like this. It is always that I am like on the opposite side of the consensus of the participants in the market. And it would just be so nice for once if I was like always on the same side as it. And so that's what most content creators do. They tailor towards what the sentiment is. But not me. I'm doing it based on the charts. And so when I'm doing it based on the charts, it's always the opposite of the sentiment of the retail, of the people who would actually watch my YouTube videos. And so I got to enjoy like a month of us like being friends and being wonderful. But now, it's going to go right back to what it was for the last year and a half of like, how dumb are you? Don't you know we're going higher? And, that's the name of the game. That, unfortunately, is how it works. And that, for every winner, there is a loser. And for every loser, there is a winner. And this is, when you incorporate in the charts to doing this stuff, it helps improve those odds of being the winner. And we did it. We did it by using charts for the last year and a half. And congratulations to everybody who made it to this point, at least. This was a tough ride to do that, but we did it. All right, let's take a look over the stock market as it gets open ending here. You got Coinbase up 7%, Ford up 0.85, and ARK up 0.64. Losers this morning are Meta, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft. So you got quite a bit of red over there in tech, except you got Coinbase up there sitting nice in the green. You got yields up this morning. Dow Jones is down 66 points. The S&P is down 27. The Nasdaq's down 178. Gold, man, how have I not even brought up gold? Gold set a new all-time high last night. Again, this is a weird time in markets, guys, if you don't realize it. And it could get weirder today. I mean, it could get real weird today. It could get really weird this week just with what's happening. When it comes to like the Dow Jones futures, that's the highest weekly close ever seen before. Let's take a look at the monthly. Monthly, that was, no, it was not the highest monthly. Let's see, what about this one? No, a little bit shy. But here you go. There's the Dow. So we've got the Dow up near the all-time high, right? So this is just how weird of a time it is right now. We've got the Dow up near the all-time high. Last night, you had gold go set a new all-time high. Boom. Futures opened. It went $70 above the all-time high. Now it's pulled back down below it. Then you get Bitcoin soaring off to $42,000 and we get put on the front page of Bloomberg. It's a weird day. A very, very weird day. So anyway, gold, man, what are you doing? Still, the story, I don't know what to think of that. It goes and shoots into the all-time high overnight and then pulls itself right down. I'm not sure what to think about that except to let it play out and see, does it find some support and then start waddling around on top of it and building another bull flag? Or did it just get rejected? I don't know. I don't know what to think of that right now. But the stock market seems to be doing okay. At least the Dow seems to be doing okay, down 41 points as the morning kicks off. And Coinbase is up quite a bit. But the DXY US dollar currency index still continuing to find some support happening in there. My thoughts are still likely like this thing is rolling back up, but then it'll go set another low. But I think we're building a base in here. My gut tells me, and it's one thing to just rely on your gut. It's also by looking at charts and experience. So it's not just based on like gut of news narratives and things like that. It's based on what I see on the charts. That we would just be here and then just kind of form another bottom in here and just kind of round it out before rolling its way back up again. And I'm not convinced that we are reversing yet in the DXY, but I'm not convinced we're like going for a big breakdown. I think it's where this kind of gets real sloppy, kind of like all of this stuff happening in here. Like we've just gotten done doing that big move, and then things get pretty sloppy here for a little while down at the lows. I think that's more my view of the DXY currently right now. And so that begs the question of what does that mean for gold? What a tease. I mean, when that thing opened, TXMC sent me a message because I wasn't looking at the charts when that happened last night. He says gold just fired up $70, and just like the only response I had was OMG. Like insane, right? It's taken 3.5 years to get there. It shoots up, and then what happens? It takes it back. What do you make of that? It's crazy. But either way, back to Bitcoin, because I know we want to talk about that. That's the big thing, right? Finding some resistance in here. You do see at least indicators for today getting cooled off this morning as this resistance has been hit. And that resistance would be the 50% retracement. If we look over there at like the market cap chart, right? So get a better idea of market caps. We know that is what mattered back in 2021 was the market cap of Bitcoin, the market cap of Ethereum, the things to pay attention to last night, right? This is at the 50% retracement. Now it's a little bit higher than that. These still are the areas to keep mindful of. Typically, these types of areas right here are the ones that cause the big problems. Like examples, like you can just even see that on stuff like silver. Let's go silver. Right, so it exceeds that whole consolidation breakdown, and this is the area of the struggle for silver, and then it pulls all the way back down. So we're talking about something like that with Bitcoin, that even if you got up here, right, you could still pull all the way back down to $30,000 to $32,000 because that would be very consistent with price behavior. So like on a long-term trajectory, that is actually like the most bullish scenario you could have for super mega long-term. And those are the things to pay attention to. And I know I don't sound like I should be like super excited, super YOLO, which I think that's probably what the consensus wants. I mean, we have 2,800 people in here right now, and I'm competing against my own video that's being published right now, right? Uh, the people probably want to hear this is so mega bullish. That's what's happening right in here. But being mindful of where we're at. We're at a legitimate retracement level, and the financial media is turning on again. And we know that I've been through multiple cycles. I've been through 2017 when the financial media turned itself on at the peak, and I've been through it in 2021 when the financial media turned it on at the peak. And it's so ironic that I go through the public post yesterday of stating I'm actively now selling some of my Bitcoin that I have bought down in here. And then the financial media turns itself on 12 hours later. Isn't that crazy? Champ Blue 7 says it's not even close to euphoria. I would probably agree with you on that. I would probably agree with you on that. And I posted that over there, or I talked about that in today's video. And even like the fear and greed index, which, we'll have to wait to see how it updates tomorrow. It's in greed. It hasn't reached extreme greed yet, but it is in greed. But that's okay. It's okay to be in greed. It's once you get into extreme greed, then it's like, watch out. So it's like at a 74. Typically, it'll max out there at like 90 to 96. I think it's like as high as it'll go. 95 is the highest it can go. At least it's the highest we've ever seen it go. So if we got there, then it would start being pretty concerning. But there's no question sentiment has flipped. And like I talked about in the video today, and you guys in Markets in the Morning, you guys who hang out here all the time, we've gone through and we've done the emotional log stuff. We've talked all about that this would be the level where sentiment would flip, right? And that it would feel like it's not somebody standing on your chest anymore, that the excitement has returned, and then there becomes the optimism, right? And like if I go back through my emotional logs and go through this, I was definitely excited here, right? Like in that time period of getting out, I was definitely excited, but you could clearly see it like when we entered into euphoria. And euphoria is where everybody is just massively celebrating, massively celebrating. And I don't know if, I don't think we're there yet. I think we're in excitement. I think bears are getting chastised. You are like, right, the herd has decided that if you are bearish, you are a dummy. And so that means that, the herd has flipped. The herd has moved, but has the herd gotten irrational? Has the herd gotten euphoric? And have they gotten irresponsible yet? Right? Irresponsible is where we typically just see mega pumps everywhere. Everybody's made so much profit. They're just throwing money around like crazy. I don't think we've seen that, right? I don't think we've seen that yet. So I would say that the market sentiment is excited, but not euphoric yet. We're definitely at retracement levels that should be of concern. At least they are of concern for me. But when we look back to things like 2019 recoveries, or we look back to 2016, 2017 recoveries, they could go higher than this, right? They got up here. They got into the areas, the lower 50s or the high 40s was that area of the big stuff. But today we have reached the first major retracement level, which is the 50% retracement level. And the financial media is ready. The financial media is ready to draw you in. They're ready to say, okay, it's time to turn on the excitement for retail. So here we go, right? So, all right, Bitcoin hits 50% retracement level today. Again, the big questions now remain in here of, are we going to get all the way up to a 618 retracement? We're going to get higher into these areas in here before things pull back in here. Or alternatively, right? If things do break out into the all-time highs and things go crazy, and I've sold all of my 2022 and 2023 Bitcoin, I still have the 35% that I had bought all through here. All of this, I still have the 35% because I sold 65% right in here. I still have all that, but what I am letting go of is everything that I've bought down in here. Now, if Bitcoin goes soaring off into the promised lands, well, I cry, because I only have 35% of my Bitcoin from down here? No, not at all. I've done a lot of analysis on this market. I've shown you guys everything when it comes to breaking these all-time highs, and you even witnessed it. Like, we even had done that analysis to know that back in here, that if Bitcoin breaks the all-time high, that's the euphoria moment for the altcoin market, in which the altcoin market outperforms it. Even in all these newsletters that I've written in here and gone through it in here, from December 10th on, Bitcoin was one of the worst performers in the market. It is the altcoin market that is the showstopper event in that type of situation. So will I cry if Bitcoin goes to an all-time high and I've sold it? No, not at all, because I own the altcoins, and the altcoins mathematically outperform Bitcoin. So it'd be completely fine for that to happen. And the cold hard reality is I cheer for it. I mean, who wouldn't be happy about that? There's gonna be people saying, "Ha, you sold your Bitcoin. What a dummy. You know nothing, like always." And that's fine. That's fine. But the math will state that the altcoins will outperform Bitcoin, and I'll be completely fine with that. So I do cheer for it to go all the way up. But it is something to be mindful of as we get back to retracement levels. That this has been the area throughout history where big problems do reside at. And so we'll be keeping an eye over there on the stock market as we go through all these things and all that stuff. So, all right, there you have it. Let's go through the news. I'm sure it's 42K all over the place. Bitcoin tops 40K for the first time in 19 months. Matrix port. Okay, let's go here. Bitcoin market cap overtakes Berkshire Hathaway. Soars past 800 billion. Bitcoin breaks 41K as gold price reaches a new all-time high. Bitcoin ETF race has a new player, Binance, and support for BUSD and more. The SEC is facing another defeat in its recycled lawsuit against Kraken. Binance is now totally different. FTX and Alameda transfers another 22 million worth of crypto assets. Bitcoin price nears 40K as Bitcoin trader eyes return to all-time high. Bitcoin tops 40K for the first time in 19 months. Binance is now totally different. Bitcoin's top of funnel is becoming less noisy, suggests Swan Bitcoin CEO. Okay. Most influential of 2023, Bitcoin breaks above 42K for the first time since April of 2022. Yeah, we all know. Spotify is going to be laying off 17% of their employees. Virgin Galactic shares plunge in pre-market after Branson rules out further investment, and gold soars past 2,100 to new record, and analysts don't expect it to stop there. Might want to update that headline there, CNBC. We're back at 2048 over there on gold. Looking over at XRP, and a lot, like, the altcoins are so mixed in here, right? What is going on with IOTA? I keep seeing that bounce around between plus 40% and then goes back to negative. Something's messed up with that chart. Altcoins half in the red, half in the green. XRP still nothing to run and tell your mother about happening over in here yet. Probably everything is probably still just waiting on Bitcoin to get the chill out in here, as it's still attempting to get that breakout of that sign of strength phase over here on total 3. Looking at total 2, how are you doing? Total 2 is working on getting its breakout, almost like it's back testing right in now. And then total market cap over here, total market cap was able to escape. So if you think that Bitcoin's the only one going and the altcoins aren't going to follow behind, you're new to the market. Hi, this is called pain, and you'll survive. Toughen up, Buttercup. All right, there you go. So 41,600 for Bitcoin. Keep it in mind, we're at these retrace levels. Stocks, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to check the stocks one more time. Coinbase is still in the lead. Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Pretty big falls over here in some of these guys, over 2%. The Dow's down 80 points, the Nasdaq's down 175, and the S&P's down 27. See if gold, I think the big question is with gold, was that a fake out? Was that a short squeeze? Was that a liquidation? Was that real? Because that's what we kind of need to know right now with the stock market. Are you going to an all-time high, or is gold doing it? When gold just smashed above it last night, holy cow, just unreal. But it has taken it all back. And now, we're in this weird time now. And if you don't think it's weird to be at these retracements, to get these news headlines, gold poking above all-time highs, there's some weird stuff going on in the market today. And it may be an interesting thing to watch how the rest of today plays out. There's definitely volatility over there in the stock market. There's volatility over here in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin's gotten back to 50%. And gold, just very weird to go set that new all-time high after all these years, and then take it right back. And it wasn't just a little all-time high, like a little peak, like we actually saw last week. So last week, we watched it actually poke into an all-time high. I've timed it. I have timed it. It was in its all-time high for about 7 seconds. that was it. About 7 seconds. And then an absolute boom. Got over $70 above, and then now back down below. So this is a weird dynamic happening in here, because the data shows it. And people always say, well, you said that this is going to happen. And it's like, no. You said that I said that that's going to happen. I've presented the data. The data has shown that never throughout history has there been a bull run with Bitcoin, has there been a bull run with gold and the stock market together. There's either one or it's the other. Can they move up and down together? Sure. Bull runs. Has there ever been a bull run with both of them together? Never. It's always the opposite. And so this right here, almost like holy crud. There goes gold. What's going to happen to the stock market? And then it goes and loses it all overnight. But still, the stock market is slightly red here this morning. So we'll see how things end up recovering. But for Bitcoin, you're back at retraces. This is always, as we get to each retracement level, there's always going to be the nervousness there for me as we get back to them. But we did spend the last year and a half being bulls, getting the way up there. Now what people are going to seek is they're going to seek confirmation bias. So they want content telling them Bitcoin is going to go much, much higher. That's what they need now, right? They seeked the 12K content to satisfy their fears and worries and concerns. Now they'll seek the much, much more YOLO content. So I can't give the Bitcoin YOLO content, but I'm very YOLO on altcoins now. This is just what happens, right? Like this is how it is. Bitcoin leads the way, and then the altcoins follow right behind. So that's the thing. That's the thing I'm waiting for. It's the thing I'm excited about for what's coming next. But how long that takes, whether that takes a day, a week, or 2 weeks, or a month, that's the big waiting thing. But as we get here to the end of 2023. What we talk about all year, there'd be an exciting period of the year, right? An exciting phase of the year. You can tell in Bitcoin, we're reaching it, right? We're getting into excitement. Now it's how high will this get? Will we actually reach euphoria in 2023? And it's very possible that we do reach euphoria here in 2023 and for the altcoin market here in 2023. But it's like when I come on here and I'm still talking all serious on a day where we have 3,000 people in here and competing against a YouTube video that I've already published, you would think I'd come on here and be super excited and super euphoric and super YOLO and pumping up the crowd, and I'd be playing the frog, right? And we do that, but we had to tough it out for a long time to get to here. And then if we waste our time fist pumping during these periods that can go very fast and get distracted by fist pumping and high-fiving, we'll get screwed. Okay? Real talk. It can turn over fast. And so treating it, when it's moving this quick, just treating it very respectful of what it is for what it is. So, yeah. For first retracement level is reached. It was right. It was right all along. Take it all off the screen. They said it could not happen, people. They said it could not occur. All year. They said it could never, ever happen. Now they say it won't stop. It will go on forever. There you go. Talk about XRP. Talk about XRP. What do you want me to say, man? It's stuck. There you go. Nothing to say, buddy. There you go. K Gold says, do you think a pullback from 42K to 34K? Guessing that short-term stuff, it's so difficult to guess that short-term crud. I try to refrain from doing it as much as I can because it's just very difficult. I'm not going to say that this is your trade. Boom, boom. I don't know. You're at a retracement level. We'll see if it gets knocked down from here. That XRPTA was most enlightening. Yeah, well, you're probably looking for the global financial system reset to come take over or something. Like the thing is, it's with the altcoin market. Look at the altcoin market. It's stuck. This is where the altcoin market is. Right? It's still in here. There's total 2. Right? There's total 3. But you may have been sold a bag of goods that XRP's switch is going to be flipped and it's going to take over the global financial system, and ISO 20022 along with David Schwartz and the secret CBDCs and the secret ledger are going to pump the price to the moon. And the cold hard reality is no, it's tied to this. So we got to get this thing to break out. You get this thing to break out, then you can start looking up to like upside resistance targets, right, for XRP. And I know that's real talk that comes off pretty stern, but that's just the reality of it. Flip the switch, BCP. Right? So, I mean, this thing still has a long ways to go. This thing still has like where Bitcoin is, Bitcoin's right here, guys. Like there's a big catch-up play to happen in here. And that's going to be where real euphoria happens. That's going to be real irrational exuberance, real irresponsible degen type of activity happening on that move back up in here into that April of 2022 level up in there. And I'm looking forward to it. But I'll come on here and be the same guy and be like, hey, look, things are a little overheated. But we're not there yet, right? And I've shown that divergence stuff before where like you put on total, can we do total 3? I don't know. Right? How you can have Bitcoin climbing way out, right? Like this is the same time period we keep using and all of this stuff, right? This whole area right in here. Right? That you can have Bitcoin climb way over here and the altcoins still be down here. And like divergences happening in here. And what we're waiting for is you got to wait for the whole market to go. And so once the whole market goes, then then we'll have something to hoot and holler about with XRP and look towards resistance levels. Otherwise, unfortunately, there's a lot of content out there that makes a lot of money that perpetuates a lot of falsehoods, and there's big business in doing that. But waiting for the whole market to go is the thing for really all the altcoins. The whole altcoin market going together is going to be the thing that happens. There's no like, I don't know. I feel like if we have to ask those questions, we probably don't pay attention. So, all right. So let's go. Stock market down 129 over here for the Dow, down 170 for the NASDAQ, down 30 for the S&P. Winner of the day is Coinbase, of course, because you got Bitcoin crushing it. Losers of the day are Meta, Nvidia, Microsoft, and Google. Winner of the day, of course, today, Bitcoin, hitting that $42,000 level. But at the same time, what has it hit? It has hit a 50% retracement level happening in here. So this isn't the one I want. I want Kraken. Oh, no. Hold on. We want to go back here. It's this one, right? No, it's not. It's this one. Okay, we want Kraken. We want that off. That. There you go. Hits 50% today. And on that day, we finally make it to front page news for Bloomberg. They're letting the whole world know, come buy this Bitcoin, guys. It's kind of high. Why don't you come buy some of it? We've got some of it to sell to you. Which I, of course, have been taking advantage of today and yesterday. So, all right, there you go, guys. It's a green day out there. Mixed day over here in the altcoins, but Bitcoin's hit the 50% retracement level. I know we're coming at it from more of like a serious approach rather than a YOLO approach. You can see there's 3,000 people in here, and we're competing with video. So obviously, there's more interest in the actual price of Bitcoin today, which means we're reaching a level of higher interest that's catching more people's attention. Be mindful of that for those who are in Bitcoin. And we've been doing this for a year and a half, saying we'd be going back into retraces. We're getting back into them. Rock and roll. We're the winners. Let's do this. But let's go ahead and dive into the chat, and we'll see what's going on. And we'll try to get through this relatively quickly, even though I have already rambled for 40 minutes. And I'm going to try to keep my answers pretty brief on the chart, on the things, because I think there's quite a few of them in there, and I'm already so far behind, guys. Some of these were made 40. One of them is an hour ago. Alex Warner, crashing structure completing on XRP over BTC. I don't really pay attention to the altcoin versus Bitcoin pairings, and that's just from being here for 6.5 years. I've tried to do analysis on those. Dang near impossible to do them unless they're finally shooting to the upside. When they're shooting to the upside, retrace levels, but in regards to like picking out little price levels and for them to bounce at and stuff like that, very difficult. So I'm not willing to do that on XRP. We took a shot at it when it like broke above the 200-week moving average, and then once it broke back below, we're like, nope. But otherwise, you're at like support levels, but do those support levels matter on those charts? I don't know. I've done enough on them to not feel confident in any of those altcoin Bitcoin pairings. Jonas Fugalis gifts a BCB membership. Thank you very much. And Andy Philpott gifted out 5. Brother, thank you guys very much. Romano Fro says, I have nothing to say, to be fair. Frog, I guess. Why? You know what? Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Romano. Chris M says, nearly at the start of the bull market. Can't wait. Oh, God. Oh. You do realize this uptrend's been going on for over a year, right, Chris? That's the thing too. Like in my post that I had to say, because what happens is all the 12Kers, all the people who left, right? So that's the thing to think about too. Is like a lot of people left the market, and then 2/3 of the people who stayed just kept screaming for 12K. So this happens, and what happens is all the people who left start coming back, and then the 12Kers all turn over too, and then they say we're just starting. And it's no. It's not that we're just starting. It's that you're just finally seeing that the reversal has already happened, and we're way up in here, right? And so we're now getting into the actual retracement levels, right? So, but thank you, Chris. Andy Philpott says, hit the like button on both videos. Thanks, BCB. Yes, thank you very much. The number one way to support the channel, and I want to thank all of you who do this. A lot of you just hit the like button right when you open it. I noticed that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But it is the number one way to support the live streams and support the channel. In the live streams, all you do is you close out the chat, hit the like button, hit live chat again. It literally takes 2 seconds to hit X, thumbs up, live chat, 2 seconds, and you're done. Best way to support me, and I appreciate it, you guys. It's free to do it, and it goes a long way, so thank you. Code 9 gives 5 BCB memberships. Man, Code 9, thank you very, very much. And guys, if your name turns green, it means you're a member. We got to do that this week, okay? How about we do it tomorrow? We'll do the members-only live stream tomorrow. How about that? I'll figure out a time. We'll do it tomorrow. Joel McIntosh. XRP is really stressful. Can you please give me some clarity, BCB? We talk about it all the time. I don't know what you need in this exact minute. We talked about it last week. You can go through all this stuff, man. It's going to get delayed. Like, first of all, it's flat, right? So are you getting hurt from flatness? No. What you're getting hurt from is jealousy pain, right? And we talk about all these types of things, right? There's 3 types of capitulation, right? Price capitulation, time capitulation, and jealousy capitulation. XRP is up 100% this year. But you're looking over at Bitcoin and saying, no, not only that, but the price of Bitcoin is sitting where? It's sitting right here at April of 2022. Where is XRP sitting? May and April of 2022. So it's not like the price isn't where Bitcoin is, right? But we need more from the altcoin market to see XRP get a big break. Cougar Love says, Ethereum, if Bitcoin hits 50K, where would ETH range be at that point? Well, you just apply the exact same things to Ethereum as you do to Bitcoin, right? So there you go. Ethereum got out. I guess we should talk about that, right? Ethereum escaped its range too, right? So all of its levels, its April levels of where Bitcoin is, that 50% retracement in that area right there, it's about $2,900, $2,850 to $2,900. You get to the 618 level, it's $3,300. You get to the 702, it's all the way up there at $3,600. So the equivalent of where Bitcoin is currently right now for Ethereum, if you used Fibonacci retracement levels, it's about 2,880. But if you use like the dates of where it's at, it's about $3,100 for Ethereum. So Ethereum's behind, but you can see getting started. But you could just, put the fibs down, you can lay down the fibs and just compare. So that's what I'm always wanting to do for you guys. Like I come at this from an approach of trying to explain things in an easy to understand way, hoping that you open up your stuff. I'm not here to be trade callers for people. It's just never what I want to be, because some people just want that. They don't want to do anything, and they do want trade calls. And what does that entail? That entails if you're happy, you scream, good job. But if you're mad, you scream, why did you do this to me? Right? And so that's just never what I want. The reward does not outweigh the annoyance of why isn't this one panning out? So I just never want to be a trade caller for people. But what I'd love to do is teach you. I show you these things, explain them in easy to understand ways, and you can go do this exact same stuff yourself. Right? Very, very easy to figure out where Ethereum is. And I know you're not asking for a trade call. You're just asking where the level is compared to Bitcoin. But I'm using this as an opportunity to express a further point that teaching you guys how to set up your own charts, to just put down a fib. These things are really easy to do. And all you have to do is just sit here and say, all right, well, where is Bitcoin? In regards to retracement levels. And if it got to about $50,000, that's a little bit over the 618 retracement level, right? And so we know that if we looked at Ethereum, we would say, hey, where's a little bit over that 618 retracement level? That's way up here at about $3,400. So it's pretty easy to do. And no matter what I do, you can't keep up with me, right? I can go do stuff in the middle of the night. I can wake up in the middle of the night and price soars to a certain price and I take action on it or something like that. And I can't communicate it quickly enough, or you might not see my Twitter feed, or you might not watch a YouTube video until several hours later. And then something happens where the price rejects off of a price level and action was already taken and the things have already happened, right? So it's important that you guys be able to do all this yourself. And then maybe you'll make your own YouTube videos. Maybe you'll dethrone me and I'll become some irrelevant pleb. And that's fine. But thank you, Cougar Love. I know that's not what you're doing. But yeah, so it's I hope I answered your question with a whole lot more for everybody else. Miles Pry. Thanks for making my mornings more bearable, BCB. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it, guys. And we are at over 1,000 likes, guys. Let's go. Prosperity Fund, XRP next steps, waiting on altcoin market. That's what it's waiting on, to see if the altcoin market is going to break out. Then we could start talking about XRP. Tino, what do you think about Credible Crypto? Do you think he'll be wrong and the fact that alts are still down is a good sign, right? I don't ever like to get paired against other people, right? When people do that, right? All people are trying to do is, hey, say the opposite of him. And then people go say, hey, well, he said that you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. I don't really like to do that kind of stuff. So I've commented on Credible Crypto. I said, I like Credible Crypto. He has his own thesis. I have my own thesis, and that's fine, right? That's it. I got nothing wrong with him at all. He's been respectful towards me. I've been respectful towards him. Other people in the space have not been the same. So credible crypto will always be fine with me, unlike many other people here. Matt Smith said, "You the man. Sorry to ask this, but are you still planning on unwinding your Coinbase trade at $55 range? Thank you for that." Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. Matt's been here for forever. Matt, thank you. You're always a supporter, dude. One Rough Rican said, BCB, congrats, brother, on the Bitcoin call. I was looking into BCHG grayscale market cap, but it doesn't have one. Just look at the 4.236's original in trading view. BCHG grayscale market. So that's the Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust, right? Yeah, there's not going to be a market cap for that. And those grayscale trusts, man, they're dicey, dude. They're real dicey. I don't know. We've showed this last week. Like, you could have the altcoin market sitting totally flat and nothing going on, and those grayscale trusts will be having 20-30% volatility in either direction. So there's other stuff that goes on with that grayscale stuff that just doesn't sit right or operate like anything normal. I think they're very illiquid. So I don't know, man. I don't know on that stuff. Thank you very much, Wonder Freakin. Jonas Fugalis, member for 5 months. Hi, BCB. Thanks for everything you do. Can I get your opinion on if you would see a possibility for STX to hit the 4.236? It would STX, right? That's Stacks, right? How is Stacks? Is Stacks? I think it's got development data, right? I don't know. I don't know if there's active development on it. I think there is. Again, it's probably going to depend on the whole market, right? So the probability of it hitting its 4.23, we need to see if the whole market's capable of doing that stuff. Let's start seeing some of them get into new all-time highs, like not just one or two, but like 10 or something. And then like potential for that kind of stuff. But as of right now, like I have one particular altcoin, right? I don't know, man. We need more juice. We don't even have the total three escaping here yet to pick one particular altcoin and say, hey, is this one going to hit its 4.236? You know, right? Where are you? Here we go. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, my thoughts are that's probably the end of the run for today for Bitcoin. Gaining Value says, what do you think of XRP's big pullback last night while Bitcoin ripped to the upside? That was actually this morning. It actually happened when Bitcoin did this. When Bitcoin did this is when that big knockback happened in XRP. So XRP is not... I get it. We have a lot of new people who are tuning in right now. Like, there's a lot of people in here for Markets of the Morning. Markets of the Morning is typically about 1,800 to 2,000 people. So when we hit this 3,000 number, we get a lot of people who probably aren't here every day to hear that we talk about all these types of days. So I do need to exhibit a little bit more patience because we do talk about these things all the time in Markets in the Morning. But we're still waiting on this, right? So it's just not doing anything, right? XRP is not doing anything, and we talk about it all the time. There's a lot of nonsense perpetuated out there. What's going to cause XRP's price to rise? It's so blatantly obvious. It is tied to the cryptocurrency market. It's tied to the altcoin market. So if we're wanting to see like action take place for XRP in particular, one, we need to see the altcoin market go, and two, we've seen it several times. Like, do people understand that the reason why? Like XRP, like not the reason why, but what did happen in the 2017 bull run when and we showed this last week, when XRP went surging from 20 cents to $3.30, what the rest of the market had done first. Bitcoin had already 10x'd during that time while XRP was still down 50%. Ethereum had already rallied. Litecoin had already rallied. The market had already gone nuts. And then XRP played this like massive catch-up game all at once in 23 days. Right, that stuff's still possible too. But what will happen for sure is we're reaching jealousy capitulation here. We're reaching that for Bitcoin, and that's normal. That's what we always see. We see people start to FOMO over Bitcoin. But again, just, oh no, Bitcoin is falling, right? As it gets back to retracement, I think that's going to calm down, and I think we're watching. This is distribution style stuff. When Bloomberg starts putting it on the screen, this is distribution type of behavior happening in here. And we got clear 5 waves that happen here in this excessive little ending. I think we're pulling back for Bitcoin now, and I think all that. Why isn't my altcoin doing anything? What you're experiencing is nothing new. It's what always happens in this market. Some stuff goes, some stuff doesn't, then some stuff plays, and then some stuff plays catch up. This is how it always goes. But what happens is we get impatient because we look at other things and we see them doing something and we cry. And I'm not saying you are, but be mindful of it. I forget about this. It's always funny when we reach these moments. I forget about the behavior of when we see some prices rise. How many questions we've had about XRP this morning? When normally we don't really get that many in markets in the morning. We don't get too many XRP questions, but today we sure are. Gaining Value says, is gold not just back testing previous resistance? I don't know, man. Yeah. That's a 1 minute chart right there. Right, I mean, we'll see. Let's take a look at like weekly, right? So like there was a weekly closes, right? So yeah, we know the weekly closes were right here, right? We had the highest weekly close ever last week. So we'll see if it finds something there. That's a good point. Huang Win says, what about XRP? Hit the like button. Thank you. M. Molly. In previous videos, you said you don't know how long it take for next run after crash, but if Dow is lights out at 4.236, aren't we looking at multi-year bear? Yes, I would think so. For sure. Yep. That's consistent messaging I've given for the last couple of years too. How anybody can think there's a unequivocal. Unequivocal means it's not up for debate. It's not a theory. It's not an opinion. And I know people want to think, you said this because of this. No. This isn't an opinion. This is data-backed facts. Bitcoin only goes on bull runs with the stock market. But my magic, my internet money, my volcano, El Salvador, my block reward halving, it only goes on bull runs with the stock market. What happens to Bitcoin in that circumstance? We don't know. But what we do know is every time these things have happened, it's been bad for Bitcoin. So what happens in that event? You would have to just, by process of elimination, assume it would go down. But that's where, of course, the other type of clickbait narratives, the phoenix rises from the ashes and it goes soaring into Moon City. But yeah, I would think if we hit the 4.236 extension and then this thing starts going lights out, I would think Bitcoin. Would think Bitcoin would too. The big thing in here is Bitcoin is still following what super cycle recoveries look like, right? And so the big thing will be if Bitcoin comes back and back tests that $30,000 level, right? Be a hard line in the sand of being like, all right. And I'm very open to the idea of that if Bitcoin does pull back down in here, that I'll buy that level. I'm very open to it. But if it breaks through that, I'm out because I think it's going down there if we go through, right? But in this event, then it just keeps doing the same thing it's always done, right? So like I'm in a position where it doesn't really matter. It's like, it can either shoot to the moon, and that is awesome. because the whole market is going to absolutely crush it, or it's going to fire back down here and I'll be able to buy it at a cheaper price than what I've sold it at. And if it plows through here, well, I'll just get rid of it. I'll take a couple percentage points loss, whatever, who cares? Or I've bought the bottom and it keeps going. So that's just kind of my mind thought on the way it's at, right? If this thing roars, my altcoins will do fine. If this thing pulls back, I will grab it. And if it breaks through, I'll let go of it. Hot Tub Brian, SDX is pumping a bit, and it's on the developers list as a good one for growth. Hit the likes, y'all. There you go. Right, I'm not familiar with stacks. I'm not sure what they do, but I do believe I've seen them on the developer report. I'm not sure if I've seen them on Sentiment. Maybe. I don't remember. I don't think they're in the top 25 at least. But I have seen them on developer report. Losif. Hey, BCB, longtime fan, first time commenting. Question, absolutely not financial advice. What would you do with Bitcoin now if your portfolio was 50% XRP and 50% Bitcoin? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm taking this money and putting it into cash, right? I'm not I'm not rotating this right now. This is a weird time in the market with Bitcoin back at the retraces. I already own a stupid amount of altcoins. So, I've got them. But I've just put mine in cash is what I'm doing. But to each their own, right? Jackson Kirkpatrick, why are you not concerned about alts? If Bitcoin goes to 31K retest, won't alts get wrecked? Do alts tank and then rip? What would give up on alts, right? So now we have to create a bunch of alternative situations to get worried about, right? So I do forget about that. We still have the worry in the altcoin market. Everybody's still panicked and worried in altcoins. Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin just fired straight down to $31,000 right now, would this thing break down in here? Maybe, right? Yeah, maybe we see altcoins fall back down. I just don't think the altcoins are. I think Bitcoin's going to stall out here, and I think we're going to see the altcoins play catch up. And I've pretty much made a whole video about that. That this is my thesis of what happens. That altcoins fire, and then there is a 60% crash that happens in the altcoin market afterwards. And it is going to be painful. And it's going to be the same stuff where people get euphoric, people go buy it back in these levels, which is exactly where Bitcoin is right now. And then boom, they get wrecked. That will likely be the scenario. Doing it from here, it just seems very unlikely. But what am I supposed to do? It just means the range just keeps going on. I'm not going to day trade the top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, top of the whatever, right? Especially if we take this off log. It's where we are, right? Am I supposed to day trade this thing? I'm not going to. So whatever. Michael says, BCB, what are your XRP price target range? We got a lot of XRP today. Juan Estrada says, BCB is not buying more XRP. No, I have way too much XRP. I have so much XRP in the allocation in the portfolio. It stresses me out. For the last month, I've been looking at it and just being like, I'm so allocated to XRP. I'm good. I don't need more. BCB, what are your XRP price target ranges? So we go through that a lot, Michael. I don't have time to pull all that up, buddy. We got to get a breakout in here. Retraces, man. You got retraces for everything. And how excited is the market going to get? As we get back into retraces, we'll point them out. But I do forget. Not everybody tunes in when there's a lot of excitement in the market, right? This is your full-blown range, right? So if it can get higher, if it can, right? You got all your resistance levels in here, and then you got to get out of them. And if you get out of them, right? So your 702 retracement of this range is $147. Of the 618 is $131, right? You can see we struggled up in here, but we're right back in these April levels, right where Bitcoin is right now. So as for the altcoin market, seeing it break, and hopefully XRP can catch a break with it as well. But I'm going to be paying real close attention to what the altcoin market is doing. But, hopefully, the thing I'd really like to see for XRP, the thing, one, of course, who wouldn't love just an absolute ballistic bull run happening for XRP? But I would like to see us shift our way back up. And I'm okay with more consolidation after that. But just to feel a little bit more comfortable to shift its way back up. And then if it wants to kind of go sideways for some time after that and then go, that's fine. But I guess I would like to see the top of this range, about $1.32 to at least come into play or somewhere in that area, $1.20, $1.30 before a new consolidation range took place, if one even happened. I mean, hey, who's not okay with that? I'm fine with that. But if all we're going to see in the altcoin market right now is something like this, where we get back to those April levels, I would like to hopefully see at least $1.20 to $1.30 on XRP before a new consolidation range gets built. But thank you, Michael. Texas Takeover, my brother, 7 months member. Thank you very, very much. Zachariah Nagi, I love you, BCB. That reminds me of something. You guys heard that song on the radio? It goes la 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 whoa 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 oh oh oh. I got it wrong. It goes oh 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 whoa 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 la 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 la. You know what I'm talking about. I've never understood what he is saying in that song, and I pulled up the lyrics yesterday and read it in the whitest guy voice you possibly could yesterday. My wife loved it. But yeah, he does that. La, 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 love. UBCB. Thank you very much. Ace D. Hey, BCB. When watching you since 2020 and have learned so much from your TA thesis, what's your conviction if XRP doesn't go on a run if Bitcoin retraces? Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. See, again, we're creating scenarios. I just have to see it at the time, man. Like if the Dow Jones hits the 4.236 extension, Bitcoin hits a 702 Fibonacci retracement, and nothing happens for XRP. It's going to be a hard sell, guys. It's going to be a hard sell. Your favorite content creators are going to keep creating their conspiracy theories. They're going to keep doing their thing and keep the business model going. But you got a lot of things stacked against you in that situation. But we'll have to see there, right? Again, we got lots of XRP questions today and lots of fear-driven questions today, guys. New member, welcome. No name, message retracted. Laxi Dad says, can you compare CLCG and DX at end of business cycles for me? I can't, man. I appreciate the super chat, but I can't pull those up at end of business cycles. For what? Why don't you ask TXMC to do that? I appreciate the super chat, man, but AF11. Hey, BCB, if Woodchuck could chuck wood, when would he chuck wood? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good win, Moon. Thank you very much. He'll do it tomorrow. But I don't know if he will. AF11. You also gifted 5 BCB memberships. Thank you very, very, very much. Stoned Ape, new member, welcome. And then Zachariah says, hey guys, la 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 la, like the video. Thank you very much. All right, guys, that's where we're at. So there you go, Bitcoin. Where are you? There you go. Beginning of the stream, we talked about it, and then YouTube video talked about it. Going to losing this momentum in here as it has gotten back to the Fibonacci retracement of 50%. And as Bloomberg says, hey, retail investors, come by. As Bitcoin now has hit 50%. And get a little bit of pulley backy in there. So there you go. Interesting being Bitcoin Cash up at the top. We'll have to take a look at that tomorrow. Dr. Ty says, hit the likes or Santa will not pump your portfolio this Christmas. Yeah, and the elf on the shelf is watching. Santa wants you to like BCB videos. All right, guys. That's it for today. I've already got a video out today. If you have decided to come hang out in markets in the morning instead of going and watching a video, well, go watch your video. Go enjoy it. Cash Me Outside, my brother. He says, much love. What time members only? Hit the like button. I don't know yet. I'll let you guys know tomorrow morning what time we'll do members in the morning. And if I have that time figured out today, I'll post it in the community tab for members. Cash Me Outside has been helping me pull a lot of data for those newsletters we've been doing. So if you, go ahead and do this because we're getting near the end. If you guys haven't checked out the newsletters over there on blockchainbacker.substack.com, this is a subscription-based newsletter. Really diving into the historical behavior of the cryptocurrency market and especially the altcoin market and what impacted coins to go up in high performance or not in 2021. As we all know, it's about 2 out of 10 that did anything meaningful there in the top 30, really in the top 100. But were there other metrics we could look at? In the last 3 newsletters, we've been looking into things like inflation rate when it comes to the circulating supply of coins, new issuance of coins, right? Everybody talks about the Bitcoin block reward having, right, a 1.75% inflation rate for Bitcoin. What about other coins? Did things matter if it was 5%, 10%, 15, 40%, 100%? Did those things impact returns? We dive into the data of that in the most recent newsletter there on blockchainbacker.substack.com. In past ones, we've also looked at percentage drawdowns and likelihood of going into all-time high. Definitely impacted probabilities of going into all-time high. And then in the one prior to that, the one that seems to really have the most impact on most stuff is developer activity on that. It seemed to have the biggest influence, and that was 2 newsletters ago, the one that was published there on November 1st, right? No, October 31st. October 30th, October 31st. Either way, that's available over here on blockchainbacker.substack.com. And of course, you guys can check out over here, bcbacker.com. Get a bunch of videos, research, learn about Wyckoff accumulation, how to set up your own charts, and do simple stuff. It's, right? Let's make it simple, right? I try to explain all of this stuff very similar to the YouTube channel in an easy to understand way. So it may, like, a lot of these words may seem big. By the time you're done watching these videos, it's like, oh yeah, that's easy. No problem. That's what I try to do when I try to put together content on the YouTube channel and when I put it together over here. bcbacker.com, $39 one time, no recurring fees over here. This is just one time. The newsletter is a subscription, but this one is not. Otherwise, let me get these real quick. The Fern Child, hey BCB, what do you think about Bitcoin dominance right now? I know you said you would keep an eye on it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it. It's getting a nice run, but we're still paying attention to the safety trade. I think the safety trade dominance is going to fall. I think that's where we're going to see this thing. After this moment right in here, the play likely is cash, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Maybe a mix of both. But I think from here, the play, percentage-wise, it's altcoins. That's my thesis. Cash. Maybe Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, but cash. All right, there you go. That's going to be it, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. USLS 1978, welcome as a member, welcome backer. All right, guys, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the newsletter. Check out bcbacker.com and have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day. Where's my little thing? Okay, it fell. So I'm gonna, here we go. Based on memory. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one. Oscar with 5 at the end. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.